Good day. Here is the news at noon. First, the highlights. Lagos State government urges members of staff of state-owned media organizations to embrace dialogue. Federal government reviews plans to establish aircraft manufacturing firm in Nigeria. On the foreign scene, rare snowstorm hits U.S. South, closes highways and airport in Texas. In sport, Nigeria battles South Africa for top sport at International Cricket Council Under-19 Women's World Cup in Malaysia. Now, the details. I am Taiwo Baruwa. Lagos State Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Benga Motosho, has urged the leadership of the state broadcast stations to explore creative ways of attracting patronage to the organization, saying the grievances of members of staff of the organizations will continue to be presented before the Lagos State Executive Council. Omotosho made the appeal when he visited the state's broadcasting agencies alongside the Permanent Secretary Olumide Shogunle. The visit followed a 3-day strike by the workers who are pushing to be put on the government main payroll. They met with general managers of LTV, Radio Lagos FM and Traffic Radio. Omotosho expressed displeasure that despite his effort to ensure that the stations got an enduring solution to their request, the unions disparaged the commitment and went ahead to shut down the broadcast outfit for 3 days, stressing that the world has gone beyond the stage where strikes are perceived as better options for conflict resolution than dialogue. He noted that with focus on credible and timely news broadcast, innovation and hard work, media organizations increase visibility and followership, advising general managers to reorientate their teams on the benefit of being part of breaking local and international news at all times. In response to the non-compliance of bus drivers at the Beja bus stop, the Ministry of Transportation, in collaboration with the Lagos State Task Force, has conducted an enforcement exercise to clear the bridge of commercial vehicles indiscriminately parked along the corridor. The operation followed multiple warnings to bus drivers to desist from using the road infrastructure as an unauthorized garage or park, which has turned the stretch of the bridge into a gridlock point and impeding smooth vehicular movement. Commissioner for Transportation Oluwaseun Oshiyemi emphasized that the state government will not tolerate the disregard of repeated warnings, reiterating that the state's traffic laws must be strictly enforced and complied with by all road users across the metropolis. He stated that all apprehended bus drivers and impounded vehicles will face penalties in accordance with the 2018 state traffic law. Oshiyemi added that the clampdown, which will be consistently monitored, will serve as a deterrent to others as the state government remains steadfast in its commitment to ensuring orderliness on Lagos roads. The Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC) has called for the resignation of the Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, over the repeated collapse of the national power grid. NLC President Joe Ojairo, in a statement, says the union expressed deep concern over the worsening state of Nigeria's electricity sector, which is described as being on the brink of total collapse. Ojairo also slammed the minister over the proposed allocation of 8 billion naira in the 2025 budget for sensitization of Nigerians on the need to pay electricity bills, accusing the Ministry of Power of prioritizing frivolous projects over critical infrastructure. Now to the rest of the stories. The Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, has revealed plans by the federal government to establish an aircraft manufacturing firm in Nigeria. Keyamo stated this during the launch of Jet Maintenance, Repair and Overhaul MRO Facility and Flight Support Center in Abuja. The facility, aimed at transforming Nigeria into a regional hub for aviation services, aligns with the government's vision to support local operators and boost the nation's aviation industry. The minister, while emphasizing the project's significance, noted the inclusion of additional facilities such as training center, which he described as a huge achievement. The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has shut down a warehouse in Kaduna for stocking expired food and cosmetic products worth over 75 million naira. It's noted that the feat was achieved following information gathered from a concerned citizen. NAFDAC shared this development on its official X handle, stating that the warehouse is located at PP2A Bayajida Street by Kano Road, New Ogbomoso Road. It also stated that the managing director of the warehouse has been arrested for interrogation and emphasized that strict regulatory sanctions would be imposed upon the conclusion of the investigation. During the raid, workers were caught repacking expired biscuits into sacks and other expired items, including dairy milk, vegetable oil, soft drinks, and detergents. In foreign news, a rare winter storm is bringing snow and freezing rain to part of the U.S. deep south, closing highways and airport in Texas and prompting a first-ever blizzard warning in southwest Louisiana. 4 people are thought to have died from cold exposure so far. 2 cases are being investigated as cold-related by Austin authorities in Texas. Houston authorities in Texas, while 2 deaths from hypothermia were reported in Georgia and Milwaukee. Upon in the country's north part of New York State are being hit by another storm, blanketed by up to 18 inches of snow. According to a report, more than 2,200 flights within the U.S. were cancelled on Tuesday and 3,000 more were delayed. In sport now, Nigeria and South Africa will this afternoon face off in one of the final group games at the 2025 International Cricket Council ICC Under-19 Women's T20 World Cup in Malaysia. Nigeria's junior female Yellow Greens announced their presence at the tournament on Monday, beating test-playing nation New Zealand by 2 runs, giving the country a historic first win at the global level. After 2 wins in their first 2 games, South Africa led Nigeria by 1 point, no thanks to the washout of the junior female Yellow Greens game against Samoa. It will also be the second meeting of both countries since the African Games last year, when they met in the group stages. A win for Nigeria will mark another landmark in Nigerian cricket history, as the junior Yellow Greens are looking good to advance to the Super 6 stage of the World Cup already. And that's it on the news at noon. But just before we go, use the walkway where available to avoid accident. You can follow us and like all of our social media platforms: X at Traffic Radio 961, Facebook Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch our news and programs live on YouTube at Traffic Radio 961. You can also visit our website www.trafficradio961.ng. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration trained 78 persons and placed 12 under the Talent Development Program, TDP, a student loan program aimed at training young persons in tech skills and placing them in employment? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. To end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. Lagos State Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Benga Motosho, has urged the leadership of the state's broadcast stations to explore creative ways of attracting patronage to their organizations, saying the grievances of members of staff of the organization will continue to be presented before the Lagos State Executive Council. The Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, has revealed plans by the federal government to establish an aircraft manufacturing firm in Nigeria. We also told you that a rare winter storm is bringing snow and freezing rain to part of the U.S. deep south, closing highways and airport in Texas and prompting a first-ever blizzard warning in South Louisiana. Finally, in sport, Nigeria and South Africa will this afternoon face off in one of the final group games at the 2025 International Cricket Council ICC Under-19 Women's T20 World Cup in Malaysia. For contact with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That ends the news broadcast compiled by Adirayo Idowolaya. I am Taiwo Baruwa. Thank you for listening. Good afternoon. Up next is Lunchtime Waka with MC Eyes and Timitope Boma Peter Side.
We are the dial that helps you navigate through Lagos traffic with ease. We are the 96.1 dial. Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Moving Lagos forward.